linear phase FIR filters. On the last occasion, 15th lecture, we had discussed simple FIR filters and we discussed low pass, high pass, band pass and band stop filters. And we said that for FIR, the all pass filter is a trivial filter. In other words, it is a simple delay. You can't have a polynomial in Z inverse whose magnitude will be equal to 1. You can't have. This is the only trivial all pass FIR filter. Then we talked about IIR, simple IIR digital filters, and we showed how to construct first order low pass, high pass. We normalized the magnitude, maximum magnitude to 1. That's why we required a multiplying constant 1 plus alpha by 2 or 1 minus alpha by 2. Then we introduced the band pass filter. Once again, the magnitude, maximum magnitude was normalized to unity, and band pass filter was designed in terms of two parameters, alpha and beta, where beta controls the center frequency and alpha controls the bandwidth. Similarly, for a band stop filter, beta controls the notch frequency omega 0 and alpha control the bandwidth. This time also it is the 3 dB bandwidth, but 3 dB below the maximum magnitude. There is a difference between bandwidth definition for band stop filters and low pass, high pass, band pass filters. In all these three cases, the 3 dB bandwidth is 3 dB below the maximum magnitude. Here also it is 3 dB below the maximum magnitude, which was normalized to unity. In the case of all pass filters, we discussed several properties of all pass filters, and the simplest all pass filter is of course the first order, where the denominator, because it is IIR, the transfer function shall be a rational function, and in the first order filter, if we take the denominator as 1 plus d1 Z inverse, then the numerator is simply the same polynomial with coefficients in reverse order, that is d1 plus Z inverse. Similarly, if I have a second order filter, 1 plus d1 Z inverse plus d2 Z to the minus 2, then the numerator shall be d2 plus d1 Z inverse plus Z to the minus 2. 1 d1 d2, so it becomes d2 d1 1. Okay. And we also showed that in general A and Z, nth order all pass filter, if the denominator is dn of Z, then the numerator can be simply written as Z to the minus n dn of Z inverse. This is the general property. Okay. Obviously, this will give you, this is written in such a form that the magnitude is normalized to unity. A n Z inverse is equal to 1. Magnitude is normalized to unity. One question that was asked by one of the students was, where do you apply all pass filters? If their magnitude is 1, I have a problem in these papers, but doesn't matter. Where do you apply them? We apply them in delay equalization. Delay equalization. I have repeatedly told you that if a transmission channel, it could be a transmission system or a channel, has non-linear phase, if the phase does not vary linearly with frequency, then we have a problem of delay distortion. That is, a group of frequencies start together. If they do not reach together, then there shall be distortion in the received signal, and this distortion is called delay distortion. Now, in practice, linear phase is possible only with finite impulse response systems. With analog systems, it is not possible at all. In digital systems, FIR, it is possible to design with exact linear phase or constant group delay. So, if we have a channel, for example, a transmission channel, okay, which has a dispersive property. In other words, the group delay is not a constant. If the group delay, let us say with frequency, if it falls like this, the channel delay, then at the receiving end we can have a filter, an all pass filter, so that the magnitude is not changed. The magnitude, relative magnitude of all the component frequencies remains the same, but the phase is so designed that the group delay of the all pass filters rises like this in an inverse fashion. Then from the transmitter to the receiver is here, from the transmitter Tx to the receiver, the group delay shall be a constant, because the group delay is simply, overall group delay is the addition of the group delays by the channel and the all pass filter. So, delay equalization is the most important application of all pass filters, but as we go through the course you will see that all pass filters have many other applications. In fact, if you can design an all pass filter, you can design any other kind of filter. By appropriate combination of all pass filters, we shall see how to design low pass, high pass, band stop, and multi band pass, multi band stop, and all other kinds of filters. Some properties of all pass filters require a definition of what is called a bounded real function. A bounded real function. A function h of z is said to be bounded real, h of z is Br, if magnitude of h of e to the j omega is less than or equal to 1. That is, if the transfer function magnitude does not exceed 1, we have used all our filters such that the magnitude is normalized to unity. In other words, all of the transfer functions that we have derived or discussed so far are bounded real. Now, bounded real also has an interpretation in terms of energy. You see, we can always write, if the magnitude is bounded by unity, the square of the magnitude is also bounded by unity. Now, what is capital H of e to the j omega? It is the spectrum, the Fourier transform of the output divided by the Fourier transform of the input. So, this ensures that y of e to the j omega magnitude squared is less than equal to capital X of e to the j omega magnitude squared. And by linearity, if we take, if we integrate this from minus pi to pi, then the right hand side should also be integrated from minus pi to pi, and we take 1 over 2 pi, 1 over 2 pi. Then the left hand side by Parseval's theorem is simply the energy of the input, energy of the output signal, right, by Parseval's theorem. Therefore, it follows that it is summation x square n, that is, the output energy is less than or equal to the input energy. In other words, bounded real functions are passive. Bounded real functions are passive. Now, if the inequality is satisfied with equality sign, then we say the system is lossless, and therefore we make this statement that APFs as designed by us, that is of the form dnz z to the minus n dn z inverse, okay, are lossless bounded real functions. Bounded real functions. They are passive, not only passive, passivity is taken to the limit. They are lossless, they do not absorb any energy. Okay. The other property of APFs, all pass filters, if Z0 is a pole, if Z0 is a pole, then dn Z0 should be equal to 0, right. Therefore, dn Z inverse would be equal to 0 when Z is equal to 1 by Z0. Agreed? Now, what is the denominator? Denominator is Z to the minus n dn Z inverse. So, the zeros of the function shall be those values of Z at which dn Z inverse is equal to 0. In other words, the poles and zeros of all pass functions occur in reciprocal pairs. Poles and zeros of APFs occur in reciprocal pairs. It is a very important property because it says that since the APF is to be stable, the magnitude cannot be bounded unless it is stable. Therefore, all poles must be inside the unit circle. All poles must be inside the unit circle. Okay? Naturally, the zeros must all be outside the unit circle. And such functions, I shall only define them, I will not go into the interpretation. Such functions whose zeros, all of whose zeros are outside the unit circle are called maximum phase functions. Maximum phase functions. And by logic it follows that all functions whose zeros are inside the unit circle shall be called minimum phase functions. And if a function has zeros inside as well as outside, they are neither minimum nor maximum, they are mixed phase functions. The physical interpretation is that if you have a 0, let us say somewhere inside the unit circle, and a 0 somewhere outside the unit circle at a reciprocal location, then the magnitudes of the corresponding factors are equal, but the phase shift provided by the 0 outside the unit circle is greater than provided by the 0 inside the unit circle. That is the interpretation. We shall not go into the details of derivation and other things. It suffices to remember that if zeros are inside the unit circle, all zeros, then it is minimum phase. If all zeros are outside, there is maximum phase. These are terminologies. We shall not make much use of them, and therefore we will not go into the details of this. The other property which requires proof, and it is cited as a problem in Mitra. If you cannot do it, then I shall do it in the class. But the property is that the magnitude of AZ, now Z is a general complex variable, that is R e to the power j phi, is less than, equal to, or greater than 1 for mod Z. Obviously, the middle term should be equal, Agreed? Mod Az is equal to 1 for mod Z equal to 1, and the other two signs are reversed. That is, mod Z greater than 1 outside the unit circle, mod Az is bounded, is greater than unity. I beg your pardon. Outside the unit circle, mod Az is less than 1. Inside the unit circle, mod Az greater than 1. This is a property which has to be proved. It is not obvious. It has to be proved. Try to prove this. If you cannot do it, then I shall do it in one class. That is about all pass. We shall come back to all pass again and again, and we shall require these properties, and therefore make all pass an integral part of your DSP education. It plays a very important role. Today, since the properties and applications of all pass were detailed in the 90s, they have become extremely important today, and no digital filter designer can afford to ignore any of these properties. You shall be able to do intelligent design of digital signal processors if you remember these properties of all pass filters. The other filter that I shall make a quick mention is comb filters, and the name is derived from the property that the frequency response looks like a comb. It has gaps and solid lines, gaps and solid lines. It looks like a comb. The lines are not straight lines, they are frequency responses. You know, straight line response is abhorred by nature. Nature does not allow such things, they are not realizable. Okay, I shall take a very simple case, but the definition is that if you have an H of Z which has one pass band or one stop band or one pass band and one stop band, all right, then if we replace each delay by capital L number of delays, that is, in H of Z, if we replace Z by Z to the L, then we get what is known as a comb filter. G of Z is a comb filter which is derived from a simple filter, a digital filter, with each delay replaced by Z to the power capital L. Capital L, of course, is an integer. I shall take only one example. H of Z equal to 1, let us say half 1 plus Z inverse. What is this filter? It is a low pass filter or high pass? Low pass, because when Z is 1, it is 1, when Z is minus 1, it is 0. You must remember how to test very quickly what kind of a filter it is. Now, if I replace Z by Z to the L, then I get G of Z as equal to half 1 plus Z to the minus L. And if I write the frequency response of this function, G of Z is equal to half 1 plus Z to the minus L, the frequency response G of e to the j omega shall be e to the power minus j omega L by 2 sine or cosine. It will be cosine because there is a plus sign, cosine of omega L by 2. This is very easy to do, okay? And therefore, magnitude Z of G of e to the j omega shall be equal to 1 when magnitude of cosine of omega L by 2 is equal to 1. Agreed? And that occurs when omega L by 2 is equal to a multiple of pi. Okay? Let us say r pi. Now, since it is L, our R should go from 0 to L minus 1. It is a periodic function. Okay. How many times shall it be equal to 1 in one period? That is 0 to twice pi or minus pi to plus pi. Obviously, these frequencies are twice R pi divided by L. Okay. For example, if L is equal to 5, let us say, all right, then our frequency response, if we plot from 0 to 2 pi over one complete period, then the frequency response, it is a low pass filter. So, it starts from 1, all right, it comes to 0, then in between 0 to 2 pi there shall be 5 frequencies, 0 are equal to 0 to 4, that means total of 5. 5 frequencies at which the magnitude will be 1. So, it will look like this. What will be this frequency? 2 pi by 5. This is R equal to 0, this is R equal to 1. So, we shall have 4 pi by 5. Okay, the next one will go like this, 4 pi by 5. The next one would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one would be, why is it 4 pi by 5? Why is it 4? This is R equal to 0, R equal to 1, R equal to 2. So, 2 pi multiplied by 2 is 4 pi. Okay. No 3 pi by 5, not. Okay. So, this will be 6 pi by 5, agreed. And then we shall have 8 pi by 5. Okay. My 2 pi has to be shifted, my scale is not okay. 8 pi by 5. The next one, no, it is okay. Next one would be here. Have I made 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is right. Doesn't it look like a comb? That is why it is called a comb filter. Now, a comb filter, where is it used? Why do we require such a peculiar frequency response? As I told you, one of the applications, one simple application is, there are many others. If you have, let us say 50 hertz in a biomedical application where the signal is very weak and 50 hertz peak up is there, the 50 hertz will drown the desired signal and you want to get rid of 50 hertz. So, what you do is you design a comb filter whose first rejection is at 50, next one is at 100, 150. So, it gets rid of not only 50 hertz, and 50 hertz is hardly 50 hertz, it is an impure waveform. So, it gets rid of all its harmonics also, and then what you get at the output is a signal devoid of 50 hertz. All right. This is one of the that is the application is elimination of periodic distorted interferences. All right. This is one of the applications. There are other applications. You can design such a filter starting from FIR high pass filters, for example, half 1 minus z to the minus 1. Is that right? High pass filter, the most elementary FIR high pass filter, half 1 minus z inverse. You can replace z by z to the L. The only difference would be the first rejection will be that at DC. Where would you use it? You would use it where DC as well as some other periodic interference is important. If you want to get rid of DC, DC as you know raises the waveform to a constant value. If you want to get rid of it, this is the high pass version shall be used. But the picture, the shape of the waveform, shape of the frequency response shall be comb like. alright. There will be maxima and minima. Similarly, for a band stop filter, how many pass bands does a band stop filter have? Pass band, 2 pass band, but it has only 1 stop band. Therefore, you can make a comb filter out of that. That will also look like a multiple band stop filter. Similarly, you can make a comb filter from a band pass filter. There are 2 stop bands, but 1 pass band. You cannot make a comb filter from a multiple pass band or multiple stop band filter, because it becomes a mess. It is very difficult to design a filter for given rejections and given acceptance. They interfere with each other and it becomes a mess. We next talk of first zero phase filters. Zero phase filters, that is the frequency response shall be a real function. Okay. One of the examples, well, zero phase filter obviously you require an FIR. Okay. One of the examples that we did once upon a time was alpha beta alpha. H of n is equal to alpha beta alpha, where this is n equal to 0. And if you recall, the frequency response is very easy to design, it's very easy to derive. Frequency response will be beta plus 2 alpha cosine of omega, all right. Alpha e to the j omega plus beta plus alpha e to the minus j omega. This is a real quantity, but the phase is not 0 necessarily. The phase of this will be 0 plus a quantity which could be 0 or pi or twice pi or 3 pi or whatever it is. Conventionally, such filters are called zero phase filters, although the phase may not be 0 for the total frequency range. Phase may be 0 or pi or 2 pi and so on and so forth. But historically, it has gone in the literature. Such filters are called zero phase filters. Obviously, zero phase filters are non-causal, that is h of n is not 0 for n less than 0. In order to make a real frequency response, you require h of n to the right and also h of n to the left, all right. So, zero phase filters are not real time filters. However, a zero phase filter can be made causal by multiplying by z to the power minus n. For example, here the transfer function will be alpha z plus beta plus alpha z inverse. Okay, this is my h of z, and I can make it realizable by simply multiplying by z inverse. Then the non-causal filter becomes causal. In other words, physically what I am doing is h of n exists on the right side and left side, so I push from the left side so that the last sample coincides with 0. I simply multiply by that number of delays. So, some designers, filter designers, prefer to keep phase out of the picture in designing the filter and then add the required number of delays. So, zero phase filters, if you get the term, do not be surprised. It means that it is a contraption for designing the filter. Ultimately, when you realize it in real time, you shall have to make the appropriate number of delays. What is important in practice is to be able to design linear phase filters. And obviously, I have repeatedly told you that exact linear phase is achievable only by FIR digital filters. So, these are FIR filters. Linear phase cannot be obtained by analog filters, cannot be obtained by IIR filters. They can only be approximated. whereas exact linear phase can be derived only from FIR filters. And this is why FIR filters are so important. In general, what you can do by a second order IIR filter, you will require a very large length if you want to have the same performance from an FIR filter. Second order may require 200th order FIR, very costly, but if exact linear phase or no delay distortion is a precise requirement, you have no other alternative. And we shall show that linear phase FIR filter must obey symmetry or anti-symmetry of impulse response. That is, h of n must be equal to h of n minus n plus minus for linear phase. The impulse response must be symmetrical or anti-symmetrical in order to achieve linear phase. We shall show this in a little while. The length of the filter, if I have samples from small n equal to 0 to capital N, then obviously length of the filter is capital N plus 1. Okay. Now, obviously we can have the impulse response can have symmetry or anti-symmetry. H of n, and the length capital N plus 1 can be either odd or even, and therefore 4 possible cases arise. That is, h of n is symmetrical odd length, h of n is symmetrical even length, h of n is anti-symmetrical, anti-symmetry when the sign here is minus, all right, anti-symmetrical odd and anti-symmetrical even. 4 cases arise, and these are usually designated as types 1, 2, 3 and 4 FIR linear phase filters. Let us consider type 1. H of n shall be equal to h of n minus n, symmetrical, and capital N would be capital N plus 1 is odd, length is odd, therefore capital N is even. Okay. To focus, to concretize our concept, let us consider a simple example. Let us say capital N equal to 8. Now look at this symmetry. Small n starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The length is 9. What we require is that h of 0 should be equal to h of 8. Agreed? Symmetry means this, h of 0 should be equal to h of 8. These two will couple. h1 should be equal to h7, h2 to h6, h3 to h5, and the fourth sample is a loner, h4. It does not have a pair. Okay. The symmetry is therefore around capital N by 2th sample. Capital N is even, so capital N by 2th sample. And if we write the transfer function, our transfer function would be h of z equal to h naught plus h1 z inverse plus h2 z to the minus 2 plus h3 z to the minus 3 plus h4. I am writing h of n as h subscript n. They are identical. Okay. I just don't want to write these brackets again and again, so I have made this h4 z to the minus 4. Then h5 is the same as h3. So I write here h3 z to the minus 5. h6 is the same as h2, so I write here h2 z to the minus 6. h7 is the same as h1, so I write h1 z to the minus 7, and h8 is the same as h0, so I write h0 z to the minus n. This is the transfer function, and if I write this by combining terms, you see there are only 4 multipliers. Because of symmetry, 8 multipliers have been reduced to 4. The first term would be h naught 1 plus z to the minus 8 plus h1 z inverse plus z to the minus 7 plus h2 z to the minus 2 plus z to the minus 6 plus h3 z to the minus 3 plus z to the minus 5 plus h4 z to the minus 4. Okay. If I take z to the minus 4 out, then h4 shall be left with no power of z. Agreed? So I do that. I write h of z as equal to z to the minus 4. What shall I get here? H naught z to the 4 plus z to the minus 4 plus h1 I shall get z to the minus 3 plus z to the, no, it will be z to the plus 3 and z to the minus 3 plus h2 I shall get z to the 2 plus z to the minus 2 plus h1 z plus z inverse plus h4. This is what I shall get. Agreed? And if I now find the frequency response h of e to the j omega, this is h3. Thank you. H naught, h1, h2, h3. Yes. So if I write the frequency response, I shall get e to the minus j omega times 4, then twice h naught cosine of 4 omega, agree, plus twice h1 cosine of 3 omega plus twice h2 cosine of 2 omega plus twice h3 cosine of omega plus h4. All right. You can see that the quantity h of e to the j omega is e to the minus j omega 4, j4 omega, which says that the phase is minus 4 omega plus a constant which can be 0, pi, 2 pi or 3 pi depending on the sign of this real quantity. Therefore, in general we can write h of e to the j omega as equal to e to the minus j 4 omega multiplied by some new symbol h tilde of omega where h tilde of omega is real, and since it poses real many a times is confused with magnitude, this term is given the name pseudo magnitude. It is not magnitude because it can also have a phase. It is called pseudo magnitude. Now if instead of 4, what, before you go there, you see the phase is equal to minus 4 omega plus some quantity beta, where beta can be 0, pi, 2 pi, multiples of pi. You see that the group delay tau sub g of omega, which is minus d phi d omega, is simply equal to 4. So 4 samples of delay suffered by all frequencies passing through the filter. However, there is something fishy about it. I have concealed something. Wherever there is a phase transition, you cannot differentiate, right? There will be a delta function there. So this 4 samples of delay is in the piecewise linear regions of the phase. Is it clear? Okay. Wherever there is a phase change, let's say phase was falling like this, then you get a jump. At this jump, obviously you cannot differentiate it. There will be delta function and infinite. All right. So the group delay is applicable for these linear regions only, not at the frequency at which the pseudo magnitude changes sign from positive to negative or negative to positive. In general, if the length of the filter is n plus 1 and it is odd, and h of n equal to h of n minus n, that is a type 1 filter, the function h of z shall be of the form z to the power minus n by 2, then h1 of z, let us say, where h of e to the j omega, the frequency response will be e to the minus j omega n by 2, the delay shall be n by 2 samples. Then we have called it h of omega, and h of omega shall be of the form, what will be the form? There will be a constant term h of n by 2 and then plus twice summation, yes, n equal to 1 to n by 2 minus 1. Why is it n by 2 minus 1?
So because h4 is n by 2.
No, we had cosine 4 omega, if you remember. That is what I wanted to. Didn't we have a 4 omega here? We had a 4 omega. Twice h0 cosine 4 omega. Therefore, it should go right up to n by 2. Okay. So, it is n by 2. And h of, how do we write it? N by 2 minus n, if you want to write cosine of n omega. When small n equal to 4, the subscript is h of 0. So, this is the general formula. Okay. And you must remember, this is pseudo magnitude, it is not the magnitude. The other interesting features of this function is that you can write, once again let us take an example. Let us take h naught plus h1 z inverse plus h naught z to the minus 2. What is the length? 3. So, the length is odd. Is it a type 1 filter? Yes, because it is symmetrical and the length is odd. Okay. Suppose this is h of z. Now, can I not write this as z to the minus 1 h of, no, z to the minus 2 h of z inverse? Can I? What is h of z inverse? It is h naught plus h1 z plus h naught z squared. Then you multiply the whole thing by z to the minus 2. We get back what we wanted. In general, for type 1 filters, h n of z is equal to z to the minus n. This n, capital N, is not the order. I am sorry, it is the order. It is not the length of the filter. Length of the filter is capital N plus 1. Do not confuse between the two. This is z to the minus n h n of z inverse. Capital N for type 1 filter is even. All right? Is the point clear? Yes or no? Okay. What is h n of 1 if you put z equal to 1? What is h n of 1 on the right hand side? Same, Hn of 1. What is Hn of minus 1? If z is changed to minus 1, same, Hn of minus 1. These are trivial things, but you will see that they have an important effect in the other types of filters. Okay? Hn of 1 is Hn of 1, Hn of minus 1 is Hn of minus 1. All right. The other important property is that the zeros, if z equal to z0 is a 0 of Hn, then 1 by z0 must also be a 0. Isn't that right? If Hn of z0, let me use a different, our relation is z to the minus n h of z inverse. Oh, we should add an n. If Hn of z0 is equal to 0, then obviously Hn of 1 by z0 must also be a 0, because the two are identical. If we put Hn z0 here, then we must put z0 here also. And if it is identically equal to 0, then obviously Hn of 1 by z0 is also a 0. That is, we derive that if z0 is a 0 of Hz, then so is 1 by z0. In other words, the zeros occur in reciprocal pairs. In all pass filters, the zeros and poles occurred in reciprocal pairs. Where are the poles of an FIR filter? All of them are at the, where are the poles of an FIR filter? All of them are at the origin, z equal to 0. It is only the zeros that we are concerned with, and therefore the zeros occur in reciprocal pairs. And Hn of z in general, for an FIR filter, Hn of z is a polynomial. For an FIR filter, a polynomial whose zeros obey this relationship, that they occur in reciprocal pairs, are called mirror image polynomials. Mirror image polynomials. What kind of a mirror is it? If z0 after reflection gets to 1 by z0, what kind of a mirror is it? Obviously not a plane mirror. If it was a plane mirror, then the distances should have been equal, right? So it's a convex mirror, right? When you look from inside the unit circle, it's a convex or concave. You are inside the unit circle. This is the mirror. If there is a 0 here, this 0 should have a couple here, should have a mate here. What kind of a mirror is this?
It's concave.
Concave. Okay. So mirror image, mirror is a concave mirror. It's not a plane mirror. All right. Now let's consider type 2. You will see very interesting feature. Type 2 is symmetry, that is h of n is equal to h of n minus n. N plus 1 length is even, that is capital N is odd. Capital N is odd. Let's consider a typical example. Let n be equal to 7. Capital N is odd. Now look at this symmetry. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now our symmetry shall be like this: Hn, Hn minus n, 0 and 7, 1 and 6, 2 and 5, 3 and 4. All of them have mates, okay? All of them have paired. So the symmetry is around n by 2, where a sample doesn't exist. Agreed? It's around 3.5 here, where a sample doesn't exist, and this gives it some special properties. If I write h of z, I shall have h naught 1 plus z to the minus 7, agreed, plus h1 z inverse plus z to the minus 6 plus h2 z to the minus 2 plus z to the minus 5, 2 and 5 are pairs, and then h3 z to the minus 3 plus z to the minus 4. And what I can take out now is z to the minus 7 by 2, all right, z to the minus 7 by 2, that is 3.5. Then what do I get? H naught z to the plus 7 by 2 plus z to the minus 7 by 2, all right, plus etc. You can fill up the terms. The last term would be h3 z to the, yes, I have taken minus 3.5, so it will be z to the half plus z to the minus half, agreed. And if I take the frequency response capital H of e to the j omega, then I shall get e to the minus j 7 omega by 2 multiplied by twice h naught cosine of 7 omega by 2 plus twice h1 cosine of 5 omega by 2 and so on, plus twice h3 cosine of omega by 2. What is the group delay now? 3.5 samples. Group delay is simply 7 by 2, not an integer number. It is 3 samples plus another half sample. This creates problems in realization because we cannot realize a half sample, right? In DSP with uniform sampling, our time index is an integer, but this does produce a delay of 3.5 samples. And in general, if we take h of n equal to h of n minus n and n plus 1 equal to even, that is capital N is odd, then capital H of e to the j omega is of the form e to the minus j omega n by 2, then it would be twice summation h of, let us see if we can fill this up, cosine of, let us write this as n minus half omega. Okay, cosine of n minus half omega. Then what should be the subscript here? N plus 1 by 2 minus n. Let us see if we can match it. When n equal to 0, well, what should be the limits? How many terms do we have? We don't have n equal to 0. We have n equal to 1, 1 minus half. Okay, so 1, 2, n plus 1 by 2, that is correct. You must be careful in writing this form because each type has a different form, all right. Now you can also, it is also clear that the same relationship holds here also, that is z to the minus n h of z inverse. Isn't that right? Same relationship holds as in the previous case, type 1. But there is a difference now. If you put h of 1, it is equal to, capital N is odd now, but 1 to the power minus an odd number is again 1, so you get h of 1. But h of minus 1 now becomes minus h of minus 1, which means that h of minus 1 must be equal to 0. What does this mean? It means that h of z, if it is to be 0 at z equal to minus 1, then it must have a factor 1 minus z inverse. Isn't that right? Multiplied by some h1 of z. In other words, with type 2, is it possible to get a high pass filter? H of minus 1 is identically equal to 0, and therefore HPF not possible. Is the point clear? With type 1 it was not a problem. H of 1 was equal to H of 1, H of minus 1 was equal to H of minus 1. But here H of minus 1 is identically equal to 0 because capital N is odd. Therefore, type 2 filter has the limitation that it cannot realize, it cannot be used for design of a high pass filter. This restriction is not there in type 1 filter. We shall see tomorrow that for type 3 you can neither get a low pass nor a high pass. It can only be used for band pass and band stop. And type 4 is the other end or the mirror image of type 2.